about home. They're married to real estate.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast for people who love real estate and want to become inspired and informed. Whether you are a newbie real estate agent looking to get tips and learn a thing or two, or maybe you are a savvy property owner who wants to get a jump on the market, this is the place for you. We discuss our passion for real estate and people, and we bring together our personal experiences as well as our guests to learn from each other. You'll hear from experts in sales coaching, real estate law, mortgage lending, investing, and many local business owners on how to grow your business or your investment in real estate. I'm Mary Elliot.
I'm Mary Forster.
And I'm Mary McCauley.
And we are Married to Real Estate.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Married to Real Estate. We have a fun episode today. I'm guaranteeing it right now. We're in the company of Mary Elliot, Mary McCauley, and our wonderful guest, Patti Mason, today. So, Patti, we usually start things off with I check in with the Marys and see how life is, and then we come around and just have a great time with you, okay? Okay,
Fine.
Great. Okay. So why don't we start with Mary Elliott today? What's new, Mary?
Well, let's see. I've got a listing under contract, and a really active buyer, and I'm in the phase with this buyer where we're just like looking at the first sets of houses together, and I'm really getting to know him and what he's okay with, what he's not okay with, and I love that process. Even if, I think sometimes clients go in and like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't like that first house we looked at, and I don't ever feel that way. I love that process of getting like, okay, so maybe you'd like to have all of your floors in good condition. I get it. Let's move on to the next house. I like learning that stuff about people and their personalities and what makes them laugh and tick and really sort of speaks to them in a house. So a few more on the schedule for one more today and a few more to look at tomorrow, but it's a fun process. So,
Lovely.
yeah, I'm loving it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And you get to manage their expectations,
Yes, and very much so. Absolutely. And what can we look at price range wise if you're approved for this in this market, and where do we start, and all of that good stuff, and what does that actually look like in a house?
Great.
So,
Sounds like fun.
I love it.
Good.
Yep.
And Mary, pick off something. I know so much is going on. Pick off one thing.
I have a lot of things going on. I only have 2 open houses this weekend instead of 4
goodness,
that
what
I
a
did last
vacation.
weekend. So I feel like I've gotten a reprieve. No, I've been really blessed with being very busy. Have a lot of listings going on, and I too am working with buyers, which is always fun. And it's good to see things kind of moving in that direction where it's a little bit easier for buyers. They were knocked around and burnt out, and rates were not working in their favor, and so I think the ones that are serious are back in the game, and it's really good to see. And one of the things I love about our job is meeting new people all the time, and like you said, Mary Elliott, getting to know them and what's important to them, and just connecting with them. It's really one of the things we all love. I think
that's
business.
why I'm loving it too, is because it does feel like buyers are sort of back in it right now, and we have like good
we're excited
chances,
for them.
and we're excited for them. Exactly. Like, hey guys, we could actually like win an offer on this house.
And maybe not have to write 8 or be one of 40.
Exactly.
Well, and the other thing too is they always say in real estate, listings, but you have a very different relationship with people on a listing side than you do on a buying side.
Yeah, very true.
Very different.
My business has always been very balanced.
Great.
Just by, organically.
Yeah, that's great. You get both sides. So that's wonderful. I'm so proud of you.
Yes, I am too.
I'm so proud of your exhaustion.
Thank
you. You can sleep
I'm wearing
in the winter.
it well. Exactly. I hibernate like the bears.
Yes, that's right. And remember to ask for help, right?
I know, I'm terrible at that.
Okay.
I'm ready to give it to anyone, but
I will.
We'll be talking about that in a second.
Yes, we will, with our honorary Mary.
Yes, that's a great transition, actually.
Yes, that's
I do
right.
believe our honorary Mary has quite a hard time saying no.
I think she does. I think she has a hard time saying no. But just for me, on the personal level, so I intimated my last session that I am going through a health issue, and I am ready. I am so ready to start chemo, and I have great medical providers. And I may not be saying this in 3 weeks' time, but I am really ready to go and face
We
this.
are so ready for
Yep,
you.
and I'm up for it. I'm up for
Well,
it.
I
so.
love your positive attitude. I think that plays such a huge role.
It
So,
does.
yay, you're already ahead of the game.
That's right, exactly right. And that's why I have time to help people like Mary.
Well, I was just going to say, and stop offering your helps. Maybe you can also ask for it.
And I tell you, it is pouring in.
Good. There's
It
a
is pouring
theme.
in. There's a theme. So let's keep on that theme. We have with us a most special person today, Miss Patti Mason, Mrs. Patti Mason, who is so well known in the Westford area, Westford, Greater Lowell
Yeah.
area, for doing and being and connecting. She is a human connector for people in need. And we are so happy to have you here with us, Patti, today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here
Welcome.
and being with all of you and everything that way. And hope I can answer all the
you
questions.
sure can.
You're a wealth
She's
of
in the hot seat.
information.
She's in the hot seat. But just by background, there's a community center here in Westford, Mass. called the Rodenbush Center, and Patti was there, employed there 25 years. As a matter of fact,
Wow.
Sarah Fletcher, the director of this cable TV center, actually worked for you,
Yes.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Mason was born.
And Mason,
during that
Badger,
time and
Patti
everything.
Mason.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus some other family members.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that.
And so I've gotten to know Patti through the Rotary here, and she is an amazing connector of people, but people in need. And I just could go on and on and on. And we have, for our readers, a 4-page resume
That doesn't even include everything.
It
that does
doesn't
not
even-
include
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
You must have gotten tired.
so Patti, you've been retired for 14 years.
It doesn't seem possible. Sometimes it just seems like it was yesterday.
Oh,
but I'm still involved some with Rodenbush. I still help out there sometimes. And we haven't done it last year we did it. But for this October will be my 32nd year of being Winnie the Pooh for the Halloween parade.
Oh,
That's
my
great.
goodness.
We have a special guest.
who's
We have
here.
a special
Sarah.
guest coming in.
Fletcher, hello.
Hey.
Bomb this
Yes.
And I hear congratulations.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this one here.
Show us the link.
Yes,
So
I
who's
was working for Patti, and I wound up getting pregnant.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Is there a connection
With
there?
their, well, I don't know. Well, it was a daycare, right? So maybe.
She wanted to add another place person there.
Yeah. So I was
Job
only
security.
working at Rodenbush for a few months, and I got pregnant, and that I stayed there about 5 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Very
Worked
good.
for Patti.
Yep. Yep.
I love
But-
that.
We've been friends ever
Interconnected,
since.
intertwined, huh?
Yep. And I named him Mason, but it wasn't, because Patty's.
No,
Sure,
no,
sure,
no.
We
sure.
teased her anyway. We teased her anyway.
There was lots of Masons in your.
There were lots of Masons in my life, yes. Yep.
And your dad was a Mason, right?
My dad was
Yep,
a Mason.
yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
By
Yeah, I
career,
remember.
by profession. Yes.
And so is my fiance.
Yeah.
That's
Which is
right.
fascinating.
Very good.
Kept it in the family.
Yeah,
more
but
time for
Patti
the
has
couch.
certainly contributed huge amounts to the community of Westford, and we're lucky to have her.
Well, so
We
yeah,
are.
you very powerful Westford women we have in this room right now.
Indeed, you are.
So
Amazing.
yeah,
Good.
nice to have her on the show. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
thanks for
much.
stopping
Thank you.
in,
Wow.
Sarah.
But
I
this is
love
the first
that.
time we're
Yay.
bombed.
I
This is
know.
great.
I love that.
So, Patti, you've been retired 14 years,
Right.
And you feel like it's couldn't be that way, but I understand you're going to be 80 in February.
Yes, I will be. Some days I feel it, some days. Most of the time I don't, but there's certain days you say, oh my gosh, I can't be that old. And I was telling Mary that I said my oldest son, Bob, he just turned 50. And I said to him, I said, there's no way you can be 50 because your mother is only 49.
My godmother is similar age to you, and she says the same exact thing. I don't know how my children could be this old.
Yeah.
I'm, only 45.
Yep. And we have a little fun thing whenever I say something stupid type of thing. He'll say, "Oh, Mom," but it's fun. It's fun, and I am a people person. I have always been a people person, and I need to be around people and that type of thing.
And you just
So-
keep yourself so busy, there's no time to feel the age.
Right, you can't even look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You don't even
Well,
have a minute
some-
for that.
Sometimes even the house looks like that, and I have to say, okay, Patty, you got to take a day and put stuff away, or get rid of the rotary stuff.
Right.
So tell us what a typical day is for you.
Well, it depends on the day of the week. On Mondays and Thursdays, I'm quite involved at the Cameron Senior Center. I'm co-chair with excuse me, Francis Kosinko. We do the food distribution program for anyone 55 or older. The food pantry, or if the center has a family that's having a rough time, we get all the extra food from the Whole Foods in Westford, and also now we get all the extra food from Trader Joe's in Acton.
Wonderful.
And I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of food. And even on Thursdays when I pick up items and stuff at Trader Joe's, we even get flowers.
Oh,
so
that's
they
great.
give us all their flowers and plants and things like that they need to. Trader Joe's and Whole Foods are both people that do not want to throw anything
Right.
away. And so we try to get it out to anything. And a funny thing happened a couple of weeks ago. I went to pick up, and they had at least 5 or 6 banana plants, real banana plants.
Oh.
And so I'm
odd.
saying, are they
Grow here?
grow
Yeah.
bananas? And they said they can. So we gave them out, and I kept one for the group, and I'm growing it at my house, and we're having a little contest now, who gets the first banana.
It might need to have its own Twitter, little TikTok videos of your banana plants. I like
so
it.
the only thing is you have to leave them in the pot, because you can't leave them outside.
I was just going to
In the
say, in
winter.
this
They must need
climate,
warmth.
you can't
Yeah.
keep them out.
So
can't
you
plant
just
them.
you have to bring them in for
Yeah.
the winter
Yeah.
when it starts getting cold. But we'll be interested. They even have a little false banana on the
Cute. Yep.
picture of a banana on the plant type of thing. But it's just wonderful to see, as we know during these rough times of inflation and COVID and just everything and gas, that it's rough they have to take it from someplace else to pay for those items and things. So usually it's the food
That's so
and
true.
that type of thing.
so true.
We,
Yep.
and so we're just happy that
That's
we
great.
can, excuse me, that we can, do this type of thing. And the center has been fabulous with it, as well as the food pantry. They let us use some of their refrigeration and freezer areas and that type of thing. But it's grown so that we actually have had to go out, and we purchased our own commercial refrigerator.
wow.
And we're doing money now, excuse me, to finish purchasing a freezer, because we get frozen meat, frozen dinners,
Right.
ice cream, just a little bit. And we've even got from both places, we get unusual things. We've got whole goose, we've got duck, we've got
Interesting.
salmon, we've got
Yeah.
a little bit of everything, and fruits and vegetables, and just that when we have stuff left over, we the food pantry uses it too. They meet on Wednesdays and Fridays. We
Okay.
meet on Mondays and Thursdays, so it works out
Perfect.
well.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. And then if we still have breads or certain things that are non-refrigerable, then we get it to the Lowell Food Bank. We'll get it to the Chelmsford Senior Center. So we try not to throw anything away. And if some things are rotted, we even have boxes that we put it out in the fields for the animals.
Good. Good.
So literally,
goes to
we
use.
don't throw
No way.
anything
There is
away.
such food waste in this country.
Oh.
It's incredible. And I'm so glad to hear that you're able to capture some of that and,
Yeah.
and put it to good use.
Yeah,
That's
type of thing.
wonderful.
Yeah. And the families and the seniors and everything keep saying to
Yeah.
us, "Thank you, because I can pay my rent, I can buy
know.
gas, or
Yeah.
I can whatever."
I mean, I have noticed it grocery shopping.
Oh.
I have a lot of kids, and it's gone astronomically over
Yep.
the summer.
I
And
feel it too.
oh my gosh, every week I can't believe I'm spending this much
Yeah.
money at the grocery store. And so people who are on a fixed income that are truly, struggling in that way, it's such a huge service.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Patti, I mean, I know, the Cameron Center and you're well known around Westford and the area, but if someone's new to the area or wanted to take, advantage of these services, where would they go?
I mean, if they're 55 or over or having some problems or that 55 and over, you can just come down to the senior center on a Monday or a Thursday. There is a sign-up list, and then I'm the person that calls everybody in on those 2 days. And it's so well known that the building doesn't open till 8 o'clock in the morning, and we don't start till 1:30. But they'll sign up on the list, and sometimes they're out there at 7:30 in the morning just
Oh,
to
my
sign up on
goodness.
the list type of
Wow.
thing. But and if they're a younger family and having problems or that, come and see Allison, our social worker, and we work with her all the time, type of thing.
Wow.
And she can get them involved not only with our program, but with the food pantry program.
Excellent.
So this is the
Thank you.
tentacles. See the tentacles.
Yes.
But I'd like
Yeah.
I'd like you to describe another tentacle program where you're at the middle of this thing, and that's the
It's my
it's yours. I see. So that's all right. We'll ignore that. So you have an arrangement, or Rotary has an arrangement with Walmart, right?
Yes.
This is amazing.
This is
Oh.
crazy. It's my cell phone going through my hearing aids. I wish they'd hang up. But they.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Distracting.
Don't worry about it. It'll
It's
drop.
distracting.
It'll drop.
Okay,
Don't worry about it. Casual. Yes.
So what happened was a couple of years ago, Rotary decided we were asked to join the Bill Recca Rotary Club to help sponsor the DCF program for Greater Lowell and Merrimack Valley, which is on Omni Way in Chelmsford.
Department of Children and Families.
Family Services.
Right.
And so we met with them and said, how can we help, that type of thing, because we knew that there were so many children that needed help, that type of
Yes.
thing. And so from that meeting and that type of thing, it has grown to five Rotary clubs. And Westford Rotary was able to get a grant from the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, which I'm a board member, and I represent Westford on that board.
Wow.
And so we were able to get a grant to be able to purchase. We started the Rotary Cares Room, and this room was a room that was used mainly for storage, and so they gave us the room. And one of the things that a lot of the DCF children and the foster children, they get mainly hand-me-downs and that type of thing.
Right.
And so this room they go into, and they have all new clothes, all new shoes, all new toiletries. In the winter we have coats, we have everything like that. So Rotary, like I said, was able, and initially we bought some initial clothes and that type of thing through the Goods 360, which is an organization that gets all the extra things from companies, and you do purchase. You're not purchasing the clothes, you're purchasing the service to be able to do this.
Okay.
And it's not that big a money.
Okay.
And you might have, we were able to buy clothes and shoes in bulk and that type of thing, and say the value was $5,000.
Sure.
So we would only have to pay like $200.
Oh, wow.
And that includes the shipping and that type of thing. So
Right.
we were able to do that. But part of that grant, I was able, through Goods 360, they have a working relationship with the Walmarts, and I was able to purchase a program that they have, because again, they try not to throw anything away, and a program where every 4 to 6 weeks we receive all the donations that they need to get rid of.
Wow.
And it's free.
Oh,
And
wow.
the program cost Rotary $600.
Oh my goodness.
And so, as Mary knows, she's helped me a few times. We go over, and most of the time I have a SUV, and I can get quite a bit in it, I found. And I go over, and some of the things they can't give, but they give us a lot of clothes. They give us
nice.
school supplies. They give us toiletries.
That's
But
amazing.
sometimes they give us things that they can't use. So then I try to find another home
Wow.
for them and that type of
This
thing.
is like 10 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
right
well,
there
that's
that you've
okay.
described. You better live forever, Patty.
You better.
Yeah, my mother and father, especially my mother, always taught me to make a difference. Even if it's a small way, it can make a difference.
What a
And I
legacy.
try to
That-
pass that on to my kids.
That must be huge to those kids.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Getting new clothes, and I
course.
feel compelled to, I'm a guardian of a little girl. She's now 13. We took her in when she was 9,
Yep.
and she had been sort of going house to house with
Yep.
one little suitcase, one pink little suitcase, and those were her items, and most of it was stuffed animals. So we got a lot of hand-me-downs.
Yep.
People brought us tons of stuff.
Yep.
But it was the new stuff that she was really
Yeah.
the most
Jazzed
excited
about.
about.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't. We don't get to. Sometimes we see the kids at an event, but we don't know all the individual stories.
Right.
We're told stories, and I have one story that I like to tell. There was a young girl. She was 13, and she'd been in the foster care for many years and everything, and had always had a good home and everything like that, but always received the hand-me-downs. And so one of the big things is, a lot of times if the social workers, and they do this in the middle of the night, it can be in the day, it can be whenever type of thing, that the kids would have to take anything that they could take out. And I hate to say it, but sometimes they couldn't take stuff because it was bug infested and stuff like that. So they would take a plastic bag, and this
Yeah.
is what you hear
Yes.
kids carrying
Yeah.
around, and then they knew that they were foster
Yes,
kids and that.
yes.
So one of the first things that we did is we did buy a bunch of backpacks and small luggage and that type of thing, so
Good,
they
good.
could
Yep.
have something that wasn't a plastic
Yeah.
bag.
You call it my suitcase.
Yeah.
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 And honestly, we did the same for her. This suitcase she'd had for maybe 2 years, and some nice person had bought it for her because they saw the need. But once she came to us, I was like, you don't ever have to look at that suitcase
Yeah.
again. I just got her a new one.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it for anything.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Trash bag, pretty pink suitcase. It doesn't matter. You attach those. Throw everything you have
Yeah.
in it really fast memories, and it just becomes an item of
Right.
sadness.
But this 13-year-old, one of the social workers was telling, we have a meeting once a month that we have to kind of see what the needs are, how can we help, and that type of thing with DCF in Chelmsford. And so one of the social workers was telling us that she said the girl, she brought her into the room, and her eyes just opened up and everything. And the social worker told her that, we'll find your sizes, because we have them all divided in
Yep.
plastic bins or hanging up, or we try to make it look like a little store in a
Yeah,
way.
yep.
And so she said she started crying
Yeah.
and everything. And she said, and the social worker said, what's the matter? She says, this is the first time in my life I've ever had anything new.
That's 13.
At
Yeah.
13.
At 13.
That's
and
heartbreaking.
it just, it
Yeah,
even
it
makes
does, me
me
too.
want
I know,
to
my
work.
eyes are watering
Me
now.
Want to work, harder
it's
for the
awful.
kids, and we do some parties for them. And during the COVID, it was really hard and everything. And we did drive-bys where they could at Halloween they could dress up, and we decorated the back of our cars. And at Christmas time, we did a drive-through. I don't know if you know the auto auction place in Billerica. It's where all the dealers go to sell cars
Yeah.
to
Yep.
other dealers and that type of thing. And so one of our gentlemen knows the owner, and he's helped in the past, and he offered on a Saturday to open it up. He paid 2 of his employees to come to open it up and make sure that we were all, and so each of the clubs and a few other people had tables, and they would go through, and we would give them little gift bags, and then Santa was at the end and that type of thing. And so Westford Rotary did up these little bags and everything, and I had put out a call, plus Walmart again had given me boxes of animals, both small to extra large type of thing, and which I have at my house still.
Oh, great.
But I put out a call on Facebook in Westford, and we asked. I said, if you have new or excellent condition small animals, stuffed animals, I'll have a box on my on my porch and everything. You can drop them by, or if it's easier, I'll pick them up. And through that, just putting it out on Facebook and the love of people wanting to give back, we received over 600 stuffed animals.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And so what we did is I got a call from one of the head social worker and the director there that something had fallen through with the Christmas for being able to give from Santa a special gift type of thing. She says, Patti, do you think there's any way maybe you could get Walmart involved or somebody else involved, and it doesn't have to be big, just something special for the kids. I said, I think I have it. Because we had over three of that amount, we had 300 plus medium-sized to big animals type of thing. And I didn't know how I was going to give a big animal through Westford Rotary,
One child,
and then a huge animal to another one.
You don't want anyone to feel bad at one of those things.
No, because they were in their cars, and it's not
Yeah.
one of those things you could hide, type of thing.
Oh, they got that one.
Yeah. So we were able to fill that, and the kids just adored Santa. And there's one cute story. There was one boy, like I said, I've been Winnie the Pooh for many a year in Westford, and there was one little boy that was came through, and for some reason, the Santa always picked up 3 animals or a stuffed doll or something like that to give them the choice. So it wasn't just receiving something. And in the 3 that he had picked for the boy was a Winnie the Pooh. And he started crying, and his mother said, why are you crying and everything? And he said, because Santa remembered I loved Winnie the Pooh. So it just
so
little,
sweet.
and just being able to do, some of those things. And it's a team effort. It's not me. I like to be in the background. I really do, but I seem to get pushed out to the front.
That's so funny.
Type of thing. But it's really been a team effort. And also we just took on last year, we're doing the Paul Center, and we're taking over, and I had enough animals to be able to give to their Christmas party, and everything like that. We're kind of helping them. I don't know if you know the Paul Center in Chelmsford, but they work with disabled kids and kids on IEPs
Okay.
and that type of thing. And they continue it in the summer, so the
great.
kids do not
That part's
lose
incredible.
that
That's
learning.
very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very-
I learned about them from 100 Women.
Yes,
Yeah.
100
well,
women,
yeah,
right.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And that's and everything. So we our Westford Rotary Club has kind of adopted them now, and I know Brian and I know Karen, who introduced through 100 Women and that type of thing. So we've been able to kind of, if we see different things. Oregon, another place I've been giving a lot of the Walmart things and that type of thing that and then even we get some of the not the refrigerated food, but we'll get canned food that Walmart's doing. One day she came up and she says, Patty, she says, you might have to make an extra trip today. I said, oh, okay. I said, it's a little distance, but that's not a big deal. And she said, because we have 48 cases of stuffing mix.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I said, okay. So I gave some, I kind of divided it around I gave a bunch to the Cameron Senior Center. I gave some to Chelmsford, and we gave some to the food bank. So we got it all out. But our quickest, not funniest, but not weird, but different. I should say different. Last month I got a call, and she said, she says, I'm not sure what you're going to do with these, but we have about 12 cases, and they were big cases, okay? It's the cemetery flowers and the vases, but it's artificial flowers, beautiful flowers. But I said, okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I called Westford. Well, you can only use artificial. Most cemeteries will only let you use artificial flowers is in the winter time. They won't let
okay.
you use it when you can put real flowers or
okay.
plants or that type of thing. So they really didn't want them. Okay. And I called a couple of others. I couldn't, type of thing. So I was really, trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? They're in my garage right now. What am I going to do? And I said, if I've told Rotary and I've told my kids and everything, your mother is not a hoarder, okay? But if somebody
I'm sure they have their
Right.
doubts
If
at
they're
this
gonna
point.
give it
Yes.
us. Yeah.
if somebody comes in and looks in my garage, it looks like I'm a hoarder buying all this stuff from Walmart, But I was able to work it out finally. We were able, actually, I found out that you can't sell the items retail, but you can give them to a nonprofit, that type of thing. And I was able to give them to Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, wow.
And
Nice.
they were getting them out to their different
Their centers,
locations
yes.
and
Wonderful.
centers.
Yeah, I can imagine, manpower, like you said, you have this place with all the new clothes and everything, and just to organize that or transport it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge deal. You need
Level
a lot of
effort.
manpower.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Right.
And
well,
then
I've got good people that kind of give me their cars or their trucks if it can't fit in my car and everything. And Diana, who's the donation person at Hudson Walmart, is a love. That whole group just is unbelievable, and we've learned how to pack my car to the nth degree type of thing. So.
Yeah.
That's great. So do you have a good set of volunteers that help you? And
Yeah, I mean,
good.
a lot of it
Good.
is set up, especially with the one at DCF
Yeah.
and that type of
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
And whenever a group needs, I'll just. We'll put it on Rotary and say, can somebody help with this this
So-
event?
how good are you at delegating?
She's asking for a personal reason, by the way.
I'm terrible at it
Yes
personally.
and no, it just depends on what the event. I do have that problem
Yep.
sometimes,
Yep.
but most, as we all know that are busy, sometimes it's easier to do it yourself.
It's very true. It is very true. It takes longer to explain it and get it right and go check it and do it all. Yeah.
But I do try
So you started life, I don't know if you started life this way, but I saw in your resume you were a medical assistant.
Yep.
I was too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I was one of the very first certified medical assistants.
That's so great.
Yeah, type of thing. I had taken the training and everything at Long Beach City College. I actually taught there later, and I was working for the obstetrician for 14 plus years.
That was my question: is what type of doctor?
Yeah, it was
Great.
OBGYN.
Okay.
And you when you've worked with a doctor that long, I mean, he's like family.
Right.
Yes.
He actually got a little upset that I didn't have my husband to be come and ask him for my hand.
Right. Aw, that's
I'm
sweet.
saying,
Oh, what?
okay.
Yeah.
No, I
Boundaries,
get it.
sweet.
boundaries,
It was
yes.
just fun. They were. After I did finally leave because I was moving up to Los Angeles, my late husband was working for Hughes Aircraft, and it was a little long from Long Beach to there and everything. But he actually went through four nurses and then retired.
Right.
Couldn't replace you. I get that.
I think I spoiled him.
Yes. So that I think just speaks to that you've had this service-minded heart your whole life.
Yep,
Like
yep.
it's been there. It was installed early on. It seems like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because they just came out with the test. It was a combination. You could take a professional, which was the back office, or you could take the front office, which was the administrative.
Right.
And I took both of them and became one of the first certified people, which now I have heard this is what's grown into over the years to some of the physician assistant programs.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So a
Yeah.
pioneer in
You
that.
really
I
did
love
pave
that.
the way.
I thought, I did something. And then when I was teaching at the college, I was teaching actually hospital people and people that work for doctors and everything. I taught them medical terminology and
great.
understanding the tests and
that's
everything
fantastic.
that way.
Well,
but my life has changed because of my family or my kids, and that was
How did you end up in Westford?
it's 40 since 1979.
Yeah. And how did you pick Westford?
Well, my late husband was he was born at Winchester Hospital, lived in Reading, went to Lowell Tech when it was Lowell Tech, general engineering, and he actually went out to California and worked for North American and actually worked on the lunar project and
wow.
landed on the moon. And we met through a blind date through mutual friends. One of the administrative people at my doctor's office was engaged to Dawn's best friend. And so they kept trying to get us together, getting us together and everything. And he was going to school. He was doing search and rescue. He was on ski patrol. I had a crazy life too. But finally on January 6, 1969, we went on a blind date and together, the four of us and everything.
Yes.
And do you want me to tell you
rest
where
is
we
history.
went?
Yeah, sure.
This is cute.
Sure.
Well, we actually they arranged it. They didn't know. We actually went to Beverly Hills and went to the Playboy Club.
Wow.
Where they were in bunny tails and everything back
and
then.
they
huh?
were wonderful, the people and everything. I still have my little pink wallet. I don't have my
gosh, how
card,
cute.
but I have my pink
That's
wallet.
cute.
But Don and I met and we were both older, and we met like I said, on January 6, 1969. We were engaged on March 26, 1969, and married on July 26,
Well, I think when you know,
1969.
you know.
When you know, you know.
We just knew it. We just knew
Yeah.
it. And I said, and I'm not having 6 kids.
That 6 is stopping here. Excellent.
That's incredible.
But we were in California. We were kind of tired of the smog and the congestion and just everything. And we actually just sold our house there. He quit Hughes Aircraft. We had a small house in South Dennis that we had bought mainly for investment and vacation because
Right.
he had a brother and sister that still lived in the area at that time. And so we knew we had a house there.
Right.
So, but he had 2 fraternity brothers that were up in this area. And so he said, why don't we look up in Chelmsford, Westford, and that type of thing.
And it
so
was
we
easy
bought our
as
house.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 40-some years now.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yes, you are an institution here in
Patty,
Westford.
I know we can go on for a long,
and I'm sorry, I've been
long
talking
time.
too
No,
long.
no,
Great
this
to
is your,
hear.
It has
this
been
is the
our
reason.
pleasure.
The reason.
Seriously.
Okay, so you touch people's lives every single day in so many ways, and we have a few acolytes here. You know, there's somebody about 30 years away here. You got 30 more years to do that.
All right.
So don't burn
gonna
out
learn
or anything
everything
like
I
that.
can.
Okay,
You just have to learn how to say no, and it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's an
I think
impossible
I've already
lesson
got
for
that
her.
gene. Yeah.
So what is your advice to people who might be sitting home just kind of thinking, I don't know what to do with myself?
Well, just find something that you like and start out small. I mean, you know, even if it's a senior center or sometimes child care centers will need extra help. I mean, depending on what they're doing. Or the food bank or, you know, just there's so many nonprofits around in Live for Live. I mean, I've known them for a long time and everything that way. That just start out small and see what you would like to find out what your passion is type of thing. And sometimes it's just, you know, just finding that type of
I
thing.
think that's so
Yep.
true.
And
Yeah.
and then it kind of grows, and you
Right.
have to learn how to say no, or you say, "Oh, what the heck?"
Right. Why not? I could do another one.
Once people know
Yeah.
you're in the mood to volunteer places, they're like,
call
oh,
Patty.
Well, that's true. I was just going to say that if someone does want to volunteer or do something, friend Patty Mason on Facebook. Because
That's
you
a
can
great idea.
get exposure to all kinds of different things because she does not say no. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So Mary, any final questions or thoughts? Or?
I'm just so impressed by what seems to be your spirit that has been the guiding thread through your whole life.
Well,
that
thank
has
you.
just led you to do what sounds like the right thing after the right
Yeah.
thing after the right
Yeah.
thing.
And my kids have followed.
Yeah,
and
oh,
they're
that's
doing.
wonderful.
My
Yeah.
oldest son is. He's done well, and he gives back all the time and everything.
Yeah.
It's
And my
important.
youngest son is with my grandkids is up in Acadia, and they're always helping with different groups and different things like that. And he's an on-call firefighter up there.
Wonderful.
That's what he
Yeah.
was for. He gave me all these white hairs and everything. He was a forest firefighter.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
he met his wife in Sequoia National Park.
Oh,
They were both
beautiful.
firefighters. And so he would send me pictures of him hanging out of a helicopter with a torch burn. And she would send me pictures of her in her full uniform with the forest on fire in the back,
lovely.
you know, type of
Right.
thing.
Soothing.
Yeah.
Soothing photos
not
for a
faint of
mom.
heart.
He was 18 years with the Park Service
Oh, wow.
either.
Wow.
And 8.5 years up in Acadia.
Oh,
That's
my
where they were
gosh.
married, and
Yeah.
my
It's
two
beautiful
kids
up there.
grandkids were born, and
And
so-
are they the ones building up there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
That
the
sounds
ones
like an
building.
adventure.
It won't go into that. That'll take another 2 hours.
That's okay. That's
We're
okay.
just
It's always an
hoping that
adventure.
it's, you know, it's
Building
I
in this
told him to
time.
write a book after
Yes,
it's over.
exactly. That's incredible.
But no, I just think, you know, start small, give out, because it's not only helping other people. I just feel it in my heart that, it's just being kind. I mean, there's too much negativity in
So
the
true.
world and that type of thing. And if I can do it in small ways this way or get other people involved and that type of thing.
And I think that what you're doing is not in small ways. You're
Right.
doing
Well,
some
stacked
big
on top of each
moves.
other.
I think you maybe started small pieces, but
Right.
you're not small potatoes
No, but I like
anymore.
that you think of it as you're
do-
doing
that's
little
what I'm
small
saying.
deeds.
It's like little small things I
right.
just do
yeah.
here
Like
and
it's
there.
not even
Like
not
have
even
a
close.
giant billion-dollar corporation
Yeah.
handing you goods for free on all
Helping pack your car. Love it.
Mary,
yeah.
any final thoughts?
Patty, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your obviously busy schedule
Yes.
to hang out with us for a little while.
Oh,
It's been a
anytime.
pleasure getting to know you, and I'm sure our listeners will feel the same.
and inspired by you.
Thank you, Patty. Any questions for us?
Nope, just please do what you're doing and get the word out. And
Yeah.
I
Great.
think that's, the important part. And just even it's through your podcast on all the subjects that you do, you're doing your thing too, type
Good.
of thing. So
Thank you, and take really good care of yourself because we want you to keep
Yes.
doing this
Yes.
and inspiring
Absolutely.
others.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mary. Mary.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you, Patty.
Honorary
Well, thank
Mary.
you
Okay.
all.
Yes.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.